Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome back to the beautiful state of Utah. Wait, that's Stradman. We're in South Texas. Look at this. And it snowed here 3 days ago, Sunday night, and today's Wednesday afternoon. And it is still snow everywhere. Now it's definitely melting now, but they're saying it might snow again tomorrow morning. It got down to 5 degrees Monday morning after the sun came up, and had a wind of about 15 miles an hour, had the wind chill about -10. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. You know, at the very end of this video, I'm going to post some of the videos and pictures from the snow on Monday morning. So you guys have also probably seen stuff on the news about power outages and stuff all over the place, and yeah, it's pretty brutal here. I'll let you guys debate in the comments why that is. I'm not going to get into that crap. There seems to be some political debate on who's at fault for the power outages. I don't really care. I'm just trying to keep myself and my family and people I know safe. So it's still pretty cold, but it got above freezing today. That's why you're seeing some of the snow melting. But the wind, it hadn't snowed here like this since 1985. 1985 was a great year. Great year. It hadn't snowed like this since then. It snowed back in 2017, which was the biggest snow since 85 at that time. And then it snowed here 1 month ago in January, maybe like half an inch, not much. And then now it snowed again here to this week. And here where I'm at got about 5 inches. Some people got up to 8. Pretty awesome. I mean, it's pretty cool to see this happening. It's causing havoc. People can't drive anywhere because the road's ice over. There's zero equipment for these kinds of things around here like there is up north. So it's a disaster. All right, guys, but the real reason why we are all gathered here today is because we got some business to talk about. So we are now past the 2-year mark of us owning the 2009 Ford GT Heritage Edition. So now, legally and completely without any sort of conflict, we can sell the Ford GT. So, first of all, I should say, we did not buy the Ford GT with the intent to sell it. We bought the Ford GT knowing there's a very, very high likelihood it would go up in value. But we were not one of those people that bought the Ford GT to sit in a museum for 24 months with 8 miles and then sell it. As you can see on my channel, we've driven it all over. And of course, I would wish I could drive it more. There's a lot less events this last year. But now that we can sell it,
it's truly with a heavy heart that I'm here to say that that day is finally here.
all right, guys, so let's break down the numbers. So we bought the GT back in 2019, early 2019. So the 2019 Ford GTs, they started right at about 500,000. I think like 498 was like the base stripped down model. The Heritage Edition package by itself was $100,000. And then another $20,000 if you wanted the carbon fiber roundels, the number 9 on the side. That's a lot, but that is how much it costs. We chose to get the Heritage not just to match the 06, but also because if you look at the price, the resale price of the 06 Heritage versus the standard 05, 06 GTs, the Heritage Edition is worth much, much more. And that was only, I think, a $15,000 option back in 2006. So although this option is nearly 10 times more expensive, I feel with a much lower production number, they will be worth a whole lot more. You know, only making, you know, a few dozen of these Heritage Editions, when in 06 they made 343, and they're still going up in value. So these, with only a few dozen out there in the world, I think there's 3 of them here in Texas. You know, they're there's very likely to go up in value faster than a standard GT. That's why we got the Heritage Edition. That's why it was an investment for us. And then there were a few options you could add on, and then sales tax. We didn't play it cool and get a Montana registration and not pay sales tax. We did pay sales tax to the great state of Texas. So here we are. I expected there to be a couple of these Heritage GTs slam the market in maybe late December, early January, because that's when the first ones were delivered 2 years prior. And I'm very surprised to not see that. Now, again, there's not that many of them out there, but I was surprised to not see a couple of the people that were just literally waiting till the last day of that 2-year restriction to post it for sale. And I didn't see a ton of that. So that's good, I suppose. But then there is now one Heritage Edition 4 GT for sale in the United States, 2019 Heritage, that I'm aware of. And I found it on cars.com. It's probably posted on other sites and other places you can buy some exotic cars. That's where I found it. And it is listed, it's in Arizona, and it's listed for $1.7 million. Now, I knew the first one of these Heritage Editions to go up for sale will go for a lot because they're hard to get, and it is the first one, right? And so I knew it would go for a lot. That is way more than I expected it to. Now, it's still in the market a couple weeks later, so there's a very good chance it's not going to sell for $1.7 million. And if a couple other hit the market, that might drive the price down. This one also has very, very few miles, like a couple hundred miles or something. I'll put a screenshot here of the sale ad. And ours has more miles, less than 1,000, so we're still doing all right. But yeah, this car is weird to begin with, right? Because you want to drive it. You don't want it to park it in the museum and just sit there. But at the same time, it is so ungodly expensive in both depreciation and insurance every mile you drive it. Crazy. So if any of you guys have a legitimate hookup on exotic car insurance, I'm not kidding, put it in the description below. We've looked at a bunch of other companies, and most companies won't touch it. Obviously, you have to get a special insurance company to touch it, and it's just insane. So if you have a hookup, you know somebody, if you have a way to get hold of Stradman, I know I joked him out of it at the beginning, but now I'm serious. If you have a way to get a hold of him, he talks about the cost of his insurance for his Bugatti and Aventador and things like that, and it's crazy cheap compared to what we're paying for the 4GT. So James, call me, like seriously. I need to talk to your agent. Like maybe they'll even pay you a commission. I don't know. Here's an example of how we're just not prepared for this. See cracks in the pavement? You can push them, and literally the mud from underneath the pavement is bubbling up because that pavement is so damaged. Which, by the way, check these out. These are my snowshoes, Starburys. Those Starburys I got 12, 14 years ago. I don't know. I got them in college when Steve & Barry's was going out of business. So look up how long ago that was, and you can, I'm dating myself. They were having a going out of business sale. Bought these, which originally were 15 bucks. I bought them for like $4. That was like 14, 15 years ago. Man, they are champs. They're the best snowshoes I ever had for the 3 times I ever used them in the snow in Texas. So the argument here is that it's nearly tripled in value, and there's not a whole lot of investments that'll do that within 2 years, at least, you know, hard assets. Not, I mean, you could invest in, I don't know, GameStop or Dogecoin or something, but physical investments like that, not much stuff like that's going to go up 3x in 2 years. So let's get into the business of this. So if it wasn't already obvious, I only own a portion of this GT. So when you get to cars that are this expensive, a lot of times someone will get the allocation and then you partner with them, almost like it's a business investment, right? Someone owns a portion of the business, someone else owns a portion of the business, things like that. That's what happened here. So if we sold the car for 1.7, I'm not walking away with $1 million profit. And so the only reason why I think you would sell this car is there's a few. Is one, you got also special enough to get allocated with a MK2 or liquid carbon. There's a few guys that did get that lucky, and so they traded theirs, took that profit, and flipped it into an MK2. Like, good for them. I can't argue with that at all. Or you wanted to sell yours to buy 2 or 3 other cars because of the content you can make. Drag Times did that. Good for him. Not going to complain. But the other decision is just the obvious one. You need the money. You either bought it specifically to sell it, and that's why you need the money, or you put all your cards all in on this thing, and you need the money back out, and then you just made a good investment. So this car could be worth $2 or $3 million in a few years, maybe 10 years, not tomorrow. And I'm not at all criticizing anybody selling there are Ford GT enthusiasts through the moon that are out selling their cars after 2 years because they went and tracked them and took them to the events, and they lived the life, and now they're selling them. Good for them. So a whole lot of talking in this video to really come to the conclusion of asking you, should I sell the GT? Should we sell the GT? What would you do? Would you sell the GT? Give me a comment, like put in the comment below, I would sell the GT for this, or I would not sell the GT and I would hold it for that. Or call me an idiot and tell me to just take my profit and run. I don't really care, but I would love to hear the perspective of others on what you would do in this scenario. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a very privileged scenario. I completely respect that, and I'm checking that at the door. But I would love to hear your perspectives. So regardless, the question really is, am I going to sell? Are we going to sell this thing? And the answer to that question is ultimately,
I'm not leaving.
no. We got diamond hands, baby.
The show goes on!
All right, guys, that's all I got. Until next time, adios.